community leaders that don't believe it. They don't believe this is going on. And I'm going to tell you a real scary analogy. I'm not really a big history buff, but I am real interested with the concept of Nazi Germany. But everything they did was legal. Because here's what happened. They created laws, and then they put their judges in place, and then they took the attorneys, and the attorneys who would support those laws would be rewarded. The attorneys who challenged those laws would be ostracized and would lose, because the whole entire system, the whole entire legal system was pushing towards their agenda. The very same thing is happening in our juvenile and family court system in this country. It makes me shudder.
What you have now in this country is a situation where the judiciary and the bar are working together to run a criminal racketeering enterprise that is extorting money from people under color of office.
The courts are a criminal enterprise to get money, federal dollars, from the federal government.
They've taken your children and turned your child into a multi-million-dollar industry. The money is so lucrative that anything that you try to do to get in their way will be destroyed.
And they just simply created this statute, created all these committees, created these jobs, created these industries, and no one's going to stop them because there's no one to stop them.
40 years I've never seen such a circus as they've got down there. That is the most disgraceful farce I've ever seen.
It creates civil orders without rights, without your rights because you weren't there.
We often have what's called an ex parte hearing. That means one where only one side goes in and the other side doesn't get any notice, has no idea that there's a hearing going on, and doesn't even show up because they don't know what's happening.
If you don't pay us this $150 per hour for the next 5 years, we're going to take the kid away from you. That results in money going directly into the pockets of the private individuals and agencies, who are benefiting from this public process and using their authority as governmental agents to extort money out of a parent.
What I found is this justice system is about dollars, and it's not about justice.
Just to get the word out to the public, I filed a lawsuit against the state bar for racketeering.
I reported case fixing, criminal activity in a court. And I have done 231 days in jail for basically reporting crimes.
And the consequence was that in secret tribunals, I lost my law license. They took it away, and they would not give me a public trial of the matter.
I had my license to practice law suspended without a hearing.
All total, I was arrested 26 times and prosecuted. Literally thrown in jail and prosecuted.
I'm attorney Eugene Rona, a Pennsylvania attorney who is in the process of being disbarred by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania because I accuse the courts of criminal misconduct for the alteration of court proceeding. They know what they're doing. And for them to pretend that they don't know that the records are being altered, these are not stupid people.
I had to be silenced through serious discrediting. In other words, discredit me, this former Girl Scout in every sense of the word, by making me a criminal.
They wanted to do anything to see that I didn't win cases.
And then finally, doing everything you could to psychologically destroy me so that I couldn't assist other people and extract what funds I have so that I couldn't defend myself.
Why would courts and judges do this sort of a thing? The answer to that question is just two words: federal money.
We have a system where there's no checks and balances, there's no oversight, there's no accountability.
The worst abuse I've experienced is at the hands of the government, and the worst abuse my child has experienced is at the hands of the government. That's the only abuse that's going on here.
People getting arrested without a hearing.
The judges had created immunity. They had created such a thing called sovereign immunity, and I'd look at the Constitution and I'd say, how can you come up with this thing called sovereign immunity where the government is not accountable to the people? How can that happen? There's not a word of it in the Constitution. In fact, the whole idea of the Constitution is the government should be accountable to the people.
Our justice system has evolved into a system of injustice. There is corruption in our courts.
And if you want to continue to have a relationship with your child, you do as we say, or we'll take your child away.
The harm that they do to the children of our nation, that's incredible. You're talking tens of thousands of children being harmed by these judges' actions just so they can collect money from Washington?
I would say at least half of them are contentious to the point to where what I would call malpractice on the part of the other attorneys, false allocations, and court-supported perjury.
I saw about 8 or 9 criminal violations down there today. I had no idea it was that bad.
That's not allowed. That is an involuntary servitude. Well, alimony is the same thing. You are being forced to work for the benefit of your ex-wife or husband. And if you don't work or you don't pay, the courts will throw you in jail.
Is there anybody with a conscience in our judicial system or our government? The courts are a criminal enterprise to get money, federal dollars from the federal government.
And your story does not come out. The true story does not come out.